What the OECD does is we get countries together, and one of the things we produce are what we call soft law. In this context, we should consider the recommendation of the OECD Council for Responsible Innovation in Neurotechnology. It was passed at the end of 2019, and it really represents the first international instrument in this field. This event is part of a series of workshops and events that set out to support adherents to implement the recommendation.
So we know that deliberative debate requires 4 things: accurate information, representative diversity of opinion, something called a deliberative stance, where we are willing to engage with a counterpart and perhaps change our mind, as well as adequate time for that process to unfold.
Awareness, it is crucial. We need to educate, we need to empower the lay public with the notion of what it is neurotechnological innovation that can improve and ameliorate our life on a daily basis, and also let them be part of the decision making.
Engagement of journalism and media is critical for us. These are often the first amplifiers of incoming and emerging science and technology.
So I think about how to get people more broadly involved in science, not simply based on educational experience, but also based on race, gender, socioeconomic status, and bring them into the enterprise as equal stakeholders, because we all argue that in democracy, the central foundation is one voice, one vote, right? And so how can we bring that to bear as we are fundamentally transforming what it means to be human in an entirely different way?
Many companies do not engage well with other disciplines. They will often not engage persons with lived experience or their family members or caregivers, and they will often not engage health professionals in the development of their solution. So this is obviously a big concern, because when these key stakeholders aren't engaged, we can have perhaps erroneous or suboptimal products and services, or potentially risky products and services.
We've realized very quickly that patient involvement does not necessarily equal influence, and patient engagement does not necessarily equal impact too. So we have a huge burden in this field that needs to be addressed. And from our perspective, it needs to be addressed with patients very much at the center and driving that agenda.
Decision makers, scientists might have their own idea, and they disregard what our needs, our fears, when people know what their fears and their needs and their perspectives are.
Every person in the world has a nervous system, and every person in the world cares about her nervous system. Everybody cares about their brain and mental health, and everybody has an opinion on how they would like to protect and promote their own brain and mental health.
And I can tell you from my own perspective, being involved in some first-in-human clinical trials, which never have been implanted in a human before. It's so important and makes such a difference that you get in conversation, in discussion, in personal contact with the first patients.
Organizations need to actively reach out to stakeholders, as you know, and the public, to create and continue to dialogue around responsible innovation with them. So they should make sure that responsible innovation strategies start with true stakeholder identification and materiality analysis, which fits very well also with the principle number 5 of OECD recommended practice, enabling societal deliberation on neurotechnology.
The importance of establishing the incentives of each of the stakeholder groups to create a favorable environment to integrate principles on responsible innovation into their work. I think showing how the integration of these principles adds value to their projects and framing it in a way that it's integral for high impact neuroscience innovation.
The Neurotech recommendation seeks to provide governments and innovators with guidance at each step of the innovation process, help steer the responsible development